Welcome. Welcome to the NexGen show. It is in this show that we talk to young, aspiring professionals in the advertising, media, and marketing industry. And the conversations that we have are about their hopes, their dreams, and their opinions about the workplace and the industry at large. Today, we are very lucky to talk to Dionne Lee. She is an account executive or a person who works in the account management role. Just to clarify, account management are the people who are the go-between the client, that is the marketer, and the agency. So, to me, in my definition, to be an account executive, it is one of the toughest jobs in the world. Welcome, Dionne.
Hi, happy to be here.
Good to see you. The reason I say the toughest job in the world is you are more than just liaising between the client and the agency and managing the expectations, even managing the egos. Kesian lah, sometimes I see.
Kesian lah, but I find it as a very nice challenge. So I think most like older gen clients think us as like just pure messengers to deliver their messages. But I agree with you. I do think that we are beyond messengers of the company. We have our own thoughts, opinions that we can. I'm very lucky to be able to share with my team and sometimes with the client as well.
You're really a people manager. That's one. And of course, number two, beyond that, as you mentioned, you work also on strategy because sometimes you have to second guess the client.
Yes.
Yeah? Tell us.
So when a brief comes in, most of the time, the briefs are either open or they are incomplete. So from there, we need to like question the brief again. So like what information are we missing, for example, or they want to do a Raya campaign, but what are the deliverables they are looking for? What is the budget and all that? Maybe they have not included in the brief. So we, the first step is to ask that first. And then after that, once we've completed all the information that we need, then we can proceed to brief into our team, the creatives. So from there, we the creatives might have their own questions that we need to answer. So I would say we have to always be firm and sure that this is what we are going for or what the client wants to meet to avoid all those like, drama and then all that stuff lah. So from there onwards, a lot of liaising will happen, like clarifications on the campaign itself. Then we go into the creative strategy itself. So some campaigns we do involve like strategic planners if it's like very big or especially for like brand campaigns. But oftentimes for smaller ones, we just let the creatives go wild with their ideas. But here is where our role kind of as managers, brand managers, comes in, where we can't let the creatives be too fun with their, or go too wild with their ideas. It still has to keep within like the brand proposition, brand CI and all that stuff. So I would say another step to being a very good listener or like a brand manager is to really understand and take your time to know what the client really wants and then understand where the brand is at this point. So our creatives can help clients to like essentially give them a good solution that they can work with lah.
Yeah, it's very admirable what you're doing. You don't know which side to take also sometimes.
Sometimes, so I would think I would go with my rationale. So I will often fight with my personal opinions and then my biases as well lah. Yeah.
What is your dream client?
My dream client, someone, this is really unrealistic, but someone who accepts criticism when like it's valid, someone who is willing to listen to the end before they like judge right upon the first look. Someone who communicates every little detail to you and be very transparent lah, in a way, and someone who is has enough budget to fit what they want to achieve.
Are you also involved in making sure the clients pay on time?
Oh yes, of
Like,
course.
are you also involved in collection?
To some degree, yes. Mostly the nitty-gritty stuff is handled by finance, but our job is to actually chase clients on like
Because you're
payment
closer
date.
to the client, right?
Yes. And then on email threads, usually we are the go-to person to complete the thread lah, in a way, to close the job in a way. Yeah, so planning, not at my level, but we do plan like budgets and all that stuff. And essentially, we need to make sure that client pays on time so we can pay the vendors as well. And if client doesn't pay on time, then we have to raise all the advance payment stuff for the vendors, because vendors, understandably, if the task is completed, they would want to receive payment also lah. That's only fair. So yeah.
Is there such a thing as a client that you really can't handle?
Yes and no. I think every problem has its solutions. Whether the solution will 100% solve your problem is a different issue lah. But usually, if the situation gets really tough, I will seek advice from my managers or hire my bigger bosses lah, in a way, because they have more experience and stuff. So I don't think there's a situation that you can't handle. It's just whether you know how to handle it properly.
Very well said. Just spoken like a diplomat.
I try my best.
Well, you have been in the business for a little while, enough for you to be exposed to all sides of the equation when it comes to crafting ideas and developing proposals and delivering on campaigns and all that. Do you see yourself in a few years' time going over to the dark side? In our business, we call the dark side, the marketer side.
I think my end goal, yes, but I would like to, because this is my first job and my first agency, so I would like to ideally experience 2 or 3 more agencies.
Of course.
Yeah. So to get like, every agency has its culture, and then I would like to experience like different cultures from different agencies lah, to see where I can grow myself into before I enter the dark side.
I want to make I want to share a story with you with regards to someone from the agency then becomes a client. And the lesson I learned was it's not to hold grudges. So there was this place I was working where the boss of the company did not treat the account management person well. They have their reasons, yeah. The following day or something like that, that person became the client.
Oh.
And the agency had to go and eat humble pie. And the client was, the person who's now the client, gone to the client side, was our client, was the agency's client. And held a lot of grudges, and punished us for quite a while. Anyway,
Tricky situation.
It was a weird environment to be in. What advice would you give to your friends? Yeah, who I'm sure you share a lot of your experiences within your social circle. Yeah, with your friends. What advice would you give? This is with regards to preparing themselves. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier. What advice would you give to them when they come into the business?
If they are coming in as an account exec, the first thing I would say, are you sure or not? Yeah, so I think other than people skills and all that, that's like thing you can brush up to. You would have to have like discipline and responsibility to do research on what the client really wants or the brand first, so you don't ask like stupid questions. I think for me, I still can afford to ask stupid questions sometimes, but I need to structure it in a way that it doesn't sound like, it's something so obvious. Why are you asking this kind of thing? And then, I would also say to my, I think one of my juniors, and you have to work as a team. So always remember that you are not alone. You have your managers and all that. But most importantly, if, example, like on creative work or social stuff, if you're not sure, go and ask the creatives. Go and consult them. They would know best on why certain things can't be done on social and all that stuff. So, and from there on, you can better explain to the client so they won't be so, in a way, angry on why they can't do this or why you can't meet their expectations.
Understand. It is a very holistic piece of advice that you're giving. In fact, to the best of my understanding, most people in account management, their pathway leads to running the company.
In a way, yes.
They eventually become MDs or the CEOs because they have experience managing both sides.
Yeah.
The agency and the client or prospective clients. And I see that in you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe in 5 years' time, you should grow into a more managerial role, higher senior managerial role. I don't want you to mention where you work, but can you tell us why you like where you work? Because in agencies we have missions and visions and culture and this and belief systems. So there must be something that brings you to work every day.
I would say the most featured part that I would like to highlight is my teammates and the people around the company and their attitude. So I actually have previous experience in another agency in my internship, and in that I felt a bit left out in projects and all that. Understandable, I was an intern, I shouldn't be expected to be involved in big projects and all that. I just handle the nitty-gritty stuff, like research and all that. But in this company, I actually interned in my current company that I worked in. When I stepped in the first day, I feel very welcomed. I was already given a few tasks on the first day. So I felt like, they are willing to give me an intern a chance. So I see that as a very inspiring, very motivating thing, because you're just starting out, you'd have no knowledge on what you're gonna do, but they are willing to teach, they are willing to advise and all that. So I think that comes from the people culture in the company. So I really love the place I work now.
To be fair to employers who don't really have the time to babysit interns, they should not accept interns.
Yes, I agree.
Because if they cannot pay attention or give the due knowledge transfer, even in a small way, they shouldn't be taking in interns. Tell us your worst experience you've had.
Worst experience with clients or
with clients? Yeah.
With clients. I would say it was a social mishap. So, to be fair to us and the clients, we were rushing another campaign. So our social always on was a bit neglected in a way. So we having our hands tied up a lot. Both the clients reviewed a bit late. We as the messengers also briefed our team late, and then that's where it delayed. So when the client came back to us, it's why don't we have any social contents going up? It's it's because of the delay in timelines and all that stuff. But I would say not the worst situation, but it was a very sticky one. So I had to seek advice from my manager on how I word things, so to not trigger the clients to get rage or anything else.
That's a very, very, very interesting lesson you've learned
yes.
in that process.
Yes.
Because if you get another more worse situation, you will know how to manage that also as it comes along.
So I think key is always communication. So if it's your fault, be transparent in it. And if it's the client's fault, you have to always keep receipts, I would say, and tell them in a very diplomatic way that, actually they have some fault in this as well. So why don't we work together to find a solution?
Talking about working together, I have actually experienced in the past where an account director made a mistake, and forgot to bill the client.
Oh.
But the client, he was so close to the client. He had so much rapport with the client. The client not only forgave him, but allowed him to bill.
Oh.
So, relationships can really go to a level whereby it takes care of both. It takes care of itself.
Yeah, I'm still in the learning process, but I have seen my manager and my account directors save in a way save the account or save the situation with their relationships. So I aspire to hopefully one day I can do that as well.
Yeah, it's almost magical, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Dionne, thank you for sharing
Pleasure
today.
To be here. Thank you so much.
We wish you well. You're on an exciting trajectory towards a very interesting future. The way you have explained in some of your answers, I can see that there's huge potential in you blossoming into even a bigger role in the future. And as I said in the beginning, this is really the toughest job in the world. And if you can handle this job, you really can handle everything. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I hope I won't disappoint.
You will not. You will not. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Dionne for sharing. This has been a very interesting and exciting episode. And until the next episode, bye.